Alex stepped off the shuttle onto the space station's landing deck, carrying a single duffel bag that contained his personal belongings and a few small tools. He had never lived anywhere other than Earth, but the chance to work on this neutral station, known for being a hub of interstellar trade and research, was too good to pass up. He had always been fascinated by technology, by how humans could push boundaries even in a universe dominated by species far older and more advanced than them. The station was huge, with gleaming metal corridors, bright panels of information, and a constant hum of machinery. Different species moved through the hallways, some humanoid, some with shapes and forms Alex had never imagined. It was intimidating but exciting. He had been assigned a room in a shared apartment in one of the residential sectors. His roommate, he was told, was Lyra, a young officer of a militaristic alien species known for precision, discipline, and strict adherence to rules. Alex had seen her picture in the station records. Lyra was tall, with a lean frame and a sharp gaze that seemed to look right through people. Her species had translucent skin in certain areas that glowed faintly when they were excited or stressed. From her expression in the picture, Alex could tell she was serious and unyielding, someone who valued order above all else. He hoped she would not mind a human as a roommate. When he entered the apartment, he saw a small but tidy space. There were 2 rooms, a shared living area, and a compact kitchen. One of the rooms was clearly Lyra's, neat, organized, and bare except for a few essential items. Alex's room, on the other hand, was already cluttered. His duffel bag sat in the corner, unopened. But in the center of the room was something that would make any curious person stop and stare: his equipment. It was a compact energy manipulator, roughly the size of a large briefcase, covered in wires, panels, and softly glowing components. Alex had spent months building it in secret. He knew the station had rules against unsanctioned experimental devices, but the potential of this machine was too great. It could harness energy fluctuations and stabilize them, a technology that could improve interstellar travel, or even provide a clean power source for entire planets. The risks were high, but so were the rewards. He unpacked his tools and began setting up the device on his small workbench. The soft hum of the machine filled the room. It was mesmerizing, the way the lights pulsed and the energy arcs danced across the coils. Alex had always loved this part of creation, the moment when something that existed only in his mind became real. He was so focused on connecting a final circuit that he didn't notice the door opening. "Alex?" A voice called. He jumped. The voice was soft but carried authority. Lyra stood in the doorway, her glowing eyes wide as they scanned the room. "Oh, Lyra, you're back early," Alex said quickly, trying to hide the wires and panels as if she might disapprove. "I smelled it," she said, stepping inside. "What is that? Equipment?" Her tone was more curious than angry, but there was a sharp edge to it. She moved closer, her eyes scanning the device with a mixture of shock and fascination. Alex hesitated. "It's a personal project. Experimental. I'm trying to develop a device that can manipulate energy flows safely. It's not dangerous if handled carefully." Lyra's gaze narrowed. "You call this safe?" she said, tilting her head. She reached out with a hand and touched one of the glowing coils. Alex's heart skipped a beat. "Careful," he shouted, moving toward her. She pulled back instantly, her glowing skin dimming slightly as if she had realized the danger. "You humans," she said, a hint of incredulity in her voice. "You think you can create these things without consequences." Alex sighed, realizing he could not simply brush this off. "I know it's dangerous. That's why I haven't shown it to anyone. I've tested it extensively in controlled environments. I'm careful." Lyra raised an eyebrow. "Controlled? In your room? You could destroy half the sector with this if something went wrong." Alex shrugged, trying to appear nonchalant, though he felt a bead of sweat trickle down his temple. "I'm taking precautions. I've calculated energy output, containment fields, and failsafes. I promise." Her eyes softened slightly, though her expression remained serious. "This is impressive. I didn't think humans were capable of creating something like this without alien technology. You're clever, perhaps recklessly clever." Alex chuckled nervously. "I guess that's one way to put it. But it works. I've run smaller tests already. This device, it's going to change things." Lyra's curiosity got the better of her. She stepped closer again, examining the device. "Change things? For humans or for everyone?" "For everyone," Alex said, a spark of excitement in his eyes. If I can make this stable, it can help any species that needs energy. It's not just about humans surviving. It's about all of us pushing the boundaries together. Lyra was silent for a moment, her eyes scanning the glowing arcs of energy. Alex could see her mind working, trying to comprehend the scope of what he was saying. Finally, she spoke. You're bold and dangerous. I cannot allow you to continue without supervision. If your calculations are wrong, she shook her head, you could destroy much more than just your room. Alex nodded quickly. I understand. I'll let you supervise if you want. I need to keep working. Lyra hesitated, then nodded. Fine, I will supervise. But if you make even one mistake, I will shut it down immediately. And Alex, you must understand. Curiosity is one thing, but recklessness will not be tolerated. Agreed, Alex said. But you have to admit, it's exciting, isn't it? Seeing what humans can do? She glanced at him, a faint smile touching her lips, though it did not reach her eyes. Exciting? Yes. Terrifying? Also yes. Over the next few hours, Alex and Lyra worked together. Alex explained the components, the energy flow, and the safety protocols. Lyra asked questions that were both challenging and insightful. She suggested improvements, corrections, and alternatives that Alex had never considered. Slowly, the tension between them shifted. What had started as fear and skepticism turned into mutual respect. Alex realized that despite her strict demeanor, Lyra was genuinely curious and intelligent. And Lyra began to see that humans were capable of ingenuity, far beyond what her species usually allowed themselves to believe. At one point, a small miscalculation caused the device to emit a sharp pulse of energy. Alex yelped, diving to cut the power. Lyra reacted instantly, moving to stabilize the energy field with a portable containment module she had brought from her personal quarters. Together, they prevented a minor catastrophe. After catching their breath, Alex looked at her and said, See? That's the thing about humans. We make mistakes, but we find a way to fix them. Even when it seems impossible. Lyra's eyes met his. There was a long pause, a silence charged with understanding. I have never seen a human take such risks and yet be this calculated. You are remarkable, she said quietly. Alex smiled, feeling a warmth he had not expected. Thanks, and you're amazing yourself. For trusting me with your supervision. Lyra shook her head. I am not trusting you yet. I am simply observing, but I admit you have my attention. The night passed with them working side by side. Alex adjusted circuits. Lyra monitored energy flow. They spoke little, but the silence was comfortable, filled with the soft hum of the equipment and the occasional sparks of energy. Outside, the station continued its busy routines, unaware of the small but significant experiment happening in that room. By the time dawn approached, they had stabilized the device enough to run a controlled test. Alex activated it, and the energy arcs danced across the coils with a steady rhythm. Lyra's eyes glowed faintly, reflecting awe and disbelief. It works. Just as you said, she murmured. Alex leaned back, exhausted but exhilarated. Yes, it works. And this is just the beginning. Lyra nodded slowly, her expression unreadable. You humans. You are unpredictable, but perhaps that is why you succeed where others fail. I will continue supervising, but Alex, you must understand, this device, this invention, it has implications far beyond this room. You may have just caught the attention of people who do not wish to see humans advance. Alex's smile faded slightly. I know, but I'm ready for that. Humans survive, we adapt, and sometimes we surprise everyone. Lyra studied him for a long moment, then said, We will see, human. We will see. The story ended with them both staring at the device, a quiet bond forming between the human and the alien, one built on respect, curiosity, and the unspoken acknowledgement that this was more than just an experiment. It was a sign that humanity might finally be stepping into a larger role in a universe that had long underestimated them. And somewhere deep in the station, other eyes may have already begun to watch, drawn by the energy signature, curious about the human who dared to create the impossible. The station was quiet that morning, at least by its usual standards. Alex woke up early, energized despite the previous night's long hours working on the energy manipulator. He had barely slept, not from exhaustion, but from anticipation. The device had stabilized overnight, and today he wanted to push its capabilities further. Lyra was already in the room, standing by the device with her usual intensity. Her glowing skin pulsed faintly as she observed every wire and coil. Alex had learned that her attention to detail was unmatched, and that made her a perfect if intimidating partner in his work. "Good morning," Alex said cheerfully. "Ready to see the next test?" "Do not call it a test," Lyra replied, her tone serious. "This is an experiment. One small mistake and we could have a disaster." Alex grinned. "Exactly why I like it." They spent the morning checking the device's systems. Alex explained the improvements he had made overnight: new energy containment algorithms, reinforced coils, and a cooling system adapted from old human spacesuits. Lyra listened, occasionally raising questions that made Alex pause and rethink his designs. Every time she pointed out a flaw, Alex realized she was not being critical out of arrogance. She was pushing him to make the device better. Once the preparations were complete, Alex activated the energy manipulator. The soft hum returned, growing steadily as the coils glowed brighter. Lyra's eyes widened as she watched energy arcs form a miniature vortex above the device. "This is incredible," she murmured. "I have never seen a human create something that manipulates energy with this level of control." Alex's chest swelled with pride, but he kept his focus. "It's not perfect yet. I want to see how it handles fluctuations in the station's power grid. That will be the real test." Lyra's eyes narrowed. "That is risky. If it fails, it could cause a sector-wide blackout." "I know," Alex said, "but humans are good at thinking under pressure. We adapt fast." With Lyra's guidance, Alex adjusted the device's output to interact with the station's energy network. Sparks danced across the coils, and for a moment the device seemed unstable. Then, Alex made a small tweak and the energy flowed smoothly, stabilizing the sector's power fluctuations. Lights flickered briefly but then steadied. Lyra's glowing skin brightened in surprise and approval. "You did it. This is human ingenuity at its finest." Alex smiled, exhausted but thrilled. "Thanks, and I couldn't have done it without you. You kept me from, well, destroying half the station." Her expression softened slightly. "Perhaps humans are more capable than we give them credit for. And yet, this is only the beginning. If this device were in the wrong hands, it could be catastrophic." Alex nodded. "I know, that's why it's my responsibility to use it wisely. And I'm not afraid of challenges." As they worked, a warning signal suddenly blared throughout the apartment. Alex's heart skipped a beat. The station's automated systems were signaling a massive energy surge in a nearby sector. It was an unexpected emergency, the kind Lyra had warned him about. "This is it," she said sharply. "We need to act fast. If the surge reaches critical levels, it could overload the entire sector." "Are you ready?" Alex didn't hesitate. "I'm ready. Let's do it." They moved quickly, setting the device to absorb and redirect excess energy. The machine hummed louder, glowing intensely as energy arcs surged and twisted around it. Alex adjusted settings on the fly, using every calculation and improvisation skill he had. Lyra monitored his actions, providing precise corrections and suggestions in real time. The surge was stronger than either of them anticipated. Sparks flew and the room vibrated with raw power. Alex felt fear for the first time, but he pushed it aside. Humans survived by acting under pressure, adapting when the odds were against them. He focused on the calculations, adjusting outputs and containment fields. Lyra's eyes glowed bright with tension, and for a moment, she seemed almost fearful, an emotion rare for her species. "Do not lose control!" she shouted, her hands hovering over her own energy control panel, ready to intervene. Alex nodded, sweat dripping from his brow. "I won't, trust me." Minutes felt like hours. The surge grew, threatening to destabilize everything. Alex's hands moved faster than ever, making adjustments, recalculating energy flows, and improvising solutions. Lyra's eyes never left the device, following every movement, anticipating every adjustment. Then finally, the energy stabilized. The room fell silent except for the soft hum of the manipulator. Lights in the station returned to normal. Alex exhaled deeply, his body trembling from the adrenaline. Lyra, usually composed, looked at him with a mix of astonishment and respect. "You saved the sector," she said quietly. "You humans are extraordinary." Alex chuckled weakly. "I told you, we adapt. And we surprise everyone." Lyra studied him for a moment, her expression unreadable. "This is not just a demonstration of skill. This is a testament to your species' potential." You may be small, fragile, and inexperienced compared to others, but your creativity and determination are unmatched. Alex felt a warmth in his chest. He had always known humans were underestimated by other species, but hearing it acknowledged so openly by someone like Lyra was validating. "Thank you," he said simply. The next few days were a blur of activity. Word of the device's capabilities began to spread through the station, cautiously at first. Lyra made sure that only trusted personnel were allowed near it. Alex continued refining his invention, sometimes under Lyra's guidance, sometimes relying solely on his human intuition. They grew closer as well. Though they came from completely different worlds, they shared a bond built on mutual respect. Lyra had begun to appreciate not just Alex's ingenuity, but his humor, his ability to remain calm under pressure, and his unwavering determination. Alex, in turn, admired Lyra's intelligence, her precision, and her ability to think logically even in chaotic situations. One evening, as they reviewed the day's work, Lyra spoke quietly. "Alex, have you considered what your device could mean for interstellar relations? If humans can develop technology like this, it could shift the balance of power." Alex leaned back, thinking, "I know, but that's why I want to do it responsibly. Humans can surprise everyone, but we don't want to start wars or conflicts. We just want to show that we belong, that we can contribute." Lyra's glowing skin dimmed slightly as she considered his words. "You may be the first human I've seen who truly understands the responsibility that comes with power. Most of my species would use this to gain control, to dominate. You want to build, to help, to create?" Alex smiled. "That's humanity for you. We take risks, yes, but we also believe in possibilities. We fight when necessary, but we also build bridges." Lyra's eyes met his, and for a long moment there was silence. It was not awkward, it was understanding. Both knew that the path ahead would be challenging. Others on the station, other species, might not welcome human innovation. There could be jealousy, suspicion, even hostility. But together, they had proven that humans could rise to challenges and succeed where others might fail. Days turned into weeks. Alex continued working on the device, and Lyra remained by his side, both supervising and learning from him. The energy manipulator evolved, becoming more efficient, safer, and more powerful. Together, they tested new functions, explored theoretical applications, and even solved problems that had stumped alien engineers for decades. One day, a message arrived from the station council. They requested a demonstration of the device for interspecies leaders. Alex's heart raced. This was the moment when humans would be judged, when other species would see the potential he and Lyra had unlocked. The day of the demonstration, Alex and Lyra set up the device in the council chamber. Leaders from multiple species gathered, their expressions ranging from curiosity to skepticism. Alex could feel the weight of their expectations. Lyra stood beside him, calm and composed, ready to back him up if necessary. Alex activated the device. Energy arcs danced gracefully, stabilizing fluctuating power sources throughout the chamber. He demonstrated how it could redirect excess energy safely, provide emergency power to entire sectors, and even enhance propulsion systems. The council watched in awe, murmuring among themselves. When he finished, silence filled the chamber. Then, one by one, leaders began to speak, praising the human ingenuity on display. Lyra looked at him, her glowing skin bright with pride. "You've done it," she whispered. Alex smiled, exhausted but triumphant. "We've done it," he corrected. The council acknowledged the device's potential and, importantly, recognized the human effort behind it. For the first time, humans were seen not just as adaptable survivors, but as innovators capable of shaping the future of interstellar society. Later, back in their apartment, Alex and Lyra reflected on everything that had happened. "You've changed perceptions," Lyra said quietly. "Not just of humans, but of cooperation between species. You've shown that even the smallest, seemingly insignificant species can achieve greatness." Alex looked at her, a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect in his eyes. "That's humans. We don't give up. We take risks, and sometimes we surprise the universe." Lyra nodded, a small smile on her lips. "Then I suppose we make a good team, human." Alex grinned. "The best team. And who knows? This is only the beginning." As they looked at the softly glowing device, both understood that the future held endless possibilities. Together they had bridged two worlds, proving that,